no new dumb blonde jokes. They were just used
from the Pollock
jokes. Yeah.
Okay. So apparently this author, the author who is black, goes on to condemn President Obama for meeting with Cuban pro-democracy activists. I don't know where that is. I don't think there's such a thing as a pro-democracy activist.
Oh, they would be killed, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure.
And subtly suggests that the Cuban Revolution needs to change. Quote, Obama came. He saw, but unfortunately, with the pretend gesture of lending a hand, tried to conquer.
You know that's what they thought when... I don't understand, like when you hear their little sit-down news conferences or whatever that they did between Raul and Obama, clearly they were looking for an opportunity to bash the living hell out of us.
Right, right.
And it was clear, it was obvious. They wanted to insult Obama in every single way that they could. And Obama, you could tell his whole thing is, whoa, dude, I agree with you about America, but I'm a communist like you. Right. And we're wrong, and you're right, and I just want to let you guys know that if you want to bash America, that's cool, but just know that I'm one of you guys. But what I don't understand is why he didn't see that coming. It's so obvious that they were going to blast us and try to make it look like that we were wrong all these years and they were right, and that we were the evil Americans and that they were the righteous heroes.
And I would not know a fraction of what I know about Cuba had it not been for a former friend of ours who ousted itself. See, I don't know if it's a female or male because it never made that choice in front of me. So this
you have to
individual,
identify.
Right? And I don't have the identification. So this person ousted themselves as a full-fledged Cuban revolutionary communist that says that America is 100% at fault for all of Cuba's plight. And I was shocked. I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. So I got into it and I started to research Cuba.
Yeah, because you had to research it. You don't want to be ignorant of a topic.
Right. And I'd be honest with you, I could care less about Cuba. Cuba's not on the radar right now. ISIS is. I mean, over Easter weekend, they crucified a priest, a Christian preacher, on a cross. Crucified him. ISIS. This is what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Cuba.
Right. There's no crucifying in Cuba that I know of.
Right. So I had to dig into it and figure it out. And yes, it is the, I'm sorry, folks. You got to put the blame where the blame is on. It is the Cuban people that originally allowed the Batista family to reign over them. And then they allowed the American capitalists to come in, set up shop, and they set up a bunch of casinos. And the Cuban government started looting and raiding all the casino money so bad that the American capitalists had to leave. Like, this is corrupt. This is worse than corrupt. And then the Batista family, the whole regime, they fled as well with all their money from the Cuban people. Then the Cuban people allowed Fidel Castro to come in and further destroy anything that was ever Cuban. We talked about this on the last show. They are stuck in the 1940s and 50s.
59.
59. They are stuck there, and they will never come out of that as long as they're under the communist regime.
Right. They don't even need Castro. Help. They blame us for embargoes or blockades.
The only reason why you got embargoes and blockades is because you're communist.
Well, no, let's just say that we left them there. I think they would do great if they were capitalist. If they turned into a capitalist society, free market capital, the people of Cuba would build that place into a metropolis. They don't need America. They need capitalism.
Guaranteed 100%. I agree with you 100%. The cure for all of these ails, if you will, is capitalism.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about this in the show, and I'm not talking about the type of capitalism that Obama talks about, because that's not capitalism. The cronyism, the money from the government that helps other. Oh, that was out this week. Did you hear about Chevrolet, GM?
No.
Crony socialism, i.e., government taking over capitalism at work.
What happened?
General Motors, Government Motors, right? Now, got all their bailout, all their money. They are now introducing a brand new vehicle, brand new Buick, slick, beautiful Buick, made in China.
Oh boy, that's precisely the type of thing that Trump's going to try to combat.
And when folks, I'm telling you, when Trump says that he's going to put these tariffs on, he's going to put all these different tariffs on these countries. When we send something to China, China taxes it 300%. When they send it here, we tax it 3%. I just made those numbers up, but it's that lopsided. I made those numbers up because I don't know what the actual numbers are, but it is so lopsided. The taxes that they put on our goods, that's why they're not buying them. That's why it's all being imported and shipped to us. Now, granted, understand that things will go up. 99-cent stores may not be 99 cents no more. And they probably shouldn't have been.
It used to be the 5 and dime, which referred to a nickel and a dime. That's how much everything cost.
Right, and those products were made in America.
Now it's the dollar store. Next it's going to be the $5 store.
Well, but the thing is that dollar store imports everything from China.
Right.
For pennies on the dollar. So they sell for 99 cents and they make 97 cents. And if we continue to allow this to happen in America, there will continue to be slave trades and all that stuff. And China will continue to be what it is. We've got to stop that. Stay away from it. You don't need cheap stuff anyways. Just buy good stuff. I don't know. But it's going to happen. If Trump implements these things, understand the media is going to, I'm predicting this, the media is going to lose their mind because the 99-cent store is no longer 99.
Yeah, things are going to cost more money. But it may end up being an okay thing because there'll be so many more jobs.
Our jobs will be here and we'll be making more money because
be making money.
Other countries will be paying more money, which they should be.
Yeah, and you may have to get $60,000 a year, and I think people will. There'll be a lot of jobs. We'll be manufacturing our own things and then exporting, and then the money will be flowing like you wouldn't believe. When you see what's going on with the wealth in like Saudi Arabia and the UAE and all that, because money
police cars they're driving around in Lamborghinis.
Right. The money from all over the earth are flowing that way because they're exporting oil. And so if we can bring manufacturing and those kind of jobs back to America to where we are exporting our own goods, then money will start to flow our way. I mean, it's amazing that we innovate. You know, Apple has the iPods and iPhones, and then you got your Google phones and all this stuff. Yet, we have to import those products from China in order to use them. So, China's manufacturing them.
Right.
We just came up with it and then said, all right, here's your... So, you know.
In this past week, manufacturing for America in the Midwest was down 14%. There's a lot of layoffs, a lot of bad things going out there. I mean, you know, with Carrier moving out of Indiana. I don't know if they're still coming back. I don't know what's going on with them.
They're going overseas.
But they're going to Mexico, and it's bad.
Oh, are they going to Mexico? I thought they were going overseas. Oh, Mexico?
I thought they were going
Whatever. They're not going to be in America. Right.
Right. And it's egregious that the corporations in America pay some of the largest taxes of any developed country, and they're not allowed to grow, and they're not allowed that growth. Trump tweeted out, if you are a small business owner under me as president, you will thrive. And you don't want to know why? It's probably because of deregulation. And I'm going to give you an example of deregulation. Have you ever heard of cable? You know, cable TV? How did we get cable TV? Why was this revolutionary? No, it wasn't revolutionary, folks. Cable TV was out for a long time, but they couldn't get a foothold because of regulation that said it was illegal for them to use a telephone line or the telephone pole that they didn't build. So they had to put up new telephone poles. And that wasn't going to happen. Ronald Reagan came into play, deregulated that, took that regulation out, and said, you need to share those poles, which is excellent for job growth and competition.
Yeah, imagine if that was still in play today. You wouldn't have the internet.
We would be in
no internet.
Cuba.
There'd be no internet.
Be in Cuba.
Cuba's like internet? Smartphone?
What is
phone?
Oh, wow.
Telephone?
Telefono?
We have Pony Express.
Yeah, you got the guy that comes by with the donkey once a week with the mail.
Oh, my
No,
goodness.
but seriously, all these regulations that are so awful, and I mean, I could go on and on about the regulations, but they're just absolute insanity. They tie up the hands of the business owners who create jobs. I want to see, and a really wealthy guy told me this one time when I was a young teenager, and I'm striving to be rich. I'm still striving. Maybe one day. Mm-hmm. But he said to me, if you want to be a millionaire, go out and find 3 people and make them millionaires.
Oh, yeah.
I said, well, that's phenomenal. I got to break that. I haven't figured out how that happens yet. But anyways, the whole point is, if we had more billionaires in America, they would be spending more money to hire more people. And I know everybody's in the trickle-down effect. Well, that term trickle-down effect was used by the GOP to try and destroy Reagan, and the Democrats ran with it. And it's become a negative word. But no, that's how it works. The business owner takes the risk, all the risk, 100% of the risk, and he makes the majority of the money. And so he's going to spend that money to grow his company if he's in an environment where he's growing. Take the regulations out, grow these businesses, and that will create more jobs. It's that simple.
And I really believe that Trump is the only one. He hasn't come out and said it, and I don't think he can politically, because the Democrats will have a field day.
They'll lamblast him.
They'll say, oh, it's going to destroy the earth.
You big capitalist pig.
These regulations are saving us from global warming and sewage in the streets and blah, blah, blah.
Our children won't have clean air to breathe.
Right, there are regulations that do that, but I don't think Trump would be talking about reducing those regulations. If you look at John Stossel, he had mountains and mountains and mountains of papers that all represent the regulations in America, hundreds of thousands of pages of it. And so how can you start a business without knowing which laws you're breaking?
Well, technically, you're breaking all the laws.
A lot of them.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rush points that out. Rush says, I guarantee you every single one of you guys is breaking a law.
Right. And if the government finds you and they don't like what you're doing eventually,
they'll find the law that you're breaking.
If we get a dictatorship in play, they already have the laws on the books to put you in jail.
Yeah, they're already there. It's just that they're either not enforcing it or they're not noticing you. But if they notice you and they want to put you in jail, they'll find the law that you're breaking.
So if Carrie and I come up missing, probably ought to question Hillary.
Check the gulags.
Or question the Clintons.
Check the re-education camps that they're probably going to put up in Alaska.
Oh, speaking about that, a baker in a specific state this week said that he will continue to not bake cakes for homosexual weddings, and he refuses to take the re-education classes that his state is requiring him to take. So
that is so Soviet Union.
So it looks like he may lose his business. May be fined out of business.
1989 called. They want their Soviet Union back.
Whoa! Well, folks, the fastest 3 hours you will ever spend anywhere. The greatest, the #1 radio talk show host on Sunday night.
That's right. That is absolutely true.
We're all over the place.
For you.
Good night.
with unfathomable power.
What kind of power?
Unfathomable. It's without fathom.